So I got this in the mail today from a viewer, which is some sort of lapel microphone. I'm of course very familiar with these things because I'm a big shot television guy, and in TV studios this is what they use to record the sound. People often complain about the sound quality in my videos, which I know is quite echoey because I just use the microphone that's built into the camera. But thank you very much for sending me this, which I will proceed to use for the rest of this video, and hopefully you can notice an audible difference.
Alright, I'm all mic'd up. Hopefully this works. Flags basically come in two categories, the really boring and the really terrible. Let's look at 5 really terrible ones. So the Libyan flag used to just be a ripoff of the flag of Egypt. But then in 1977, the government of Egypt decided to make peace with Israel, and this made the anti-Semitic nutcase who was running Libya at the time so angry, he decided to change his country's flag out of spite. The new Libyan flag would be a salute to the glories of Islam. And since the official color of Islam was green, the new Libyan flag would be a field of green with nothing else. Well, at least it was easy to draw. When the Libyans overthrew Gaddafi, they also overthrew his flag, and now they have a moderately more interesting one. Now, the Libyan flag might be too simple, but on the other hand, some flags are way too complicated. For example, the flag of everyone's favorite country, Turkmenistan. Turkmenistan is located in a part of the world known for its elaborately woven rugs, and each region of Turkmenistan has its own unique style of rug, each more elaborately woven than the last. So in order to honor this heritage, someone thought it would be a good idea if the flag of Turkmenistan contained 5 different oriental rug patterns all crammed into a single narrow bar. This level of intricacy in the design makes it very difficult to reproduce the Turkmenistan flag, which is probably just as well considering the president of Turkmenistan would probably prefer his citizens just buy a giant portrait of his face if they're looking for something patriotic. In 2001, the North American Vexillological Institute did a comprehensive ranking of all of the flags of North America because what else are they going to do? They said the single worst flag on this continent was the flag of the state of Georgia. Now, Georgia is one of those southern states that has a lot of complicated feelings about the Civil War. And in 1956, in order to protest basically to protest the civil rights movement, they stuck a big Confederate cross on their flag. This then became a big racist embarrassment in subsequent decades, and there was a lot of political consensus that they should change the flag, but there was also enough pro-Confederate sentiment to make a compromise necessary. So what resulted was this new elaborate cluttered flag that had this little bar at the bottom with all of Georgia's old flags under the heading Georgia's History. This flag proved horrible and embarrassing for all sorts of other reasons, however, and was scrapped 2 years later. Speaking of flags made out of tiny versions of other flags, let's talk about the old flag of South Africa. After South Africa gained the right of self-governance from Britain, there was a lot of interest in that country with replacing old British symbols with Dutch symbols, since there were more South Africans of Dutch descent than British descent. Well, actually, there were more South Africans of African descent, but no one cared what they thought. The different Dutch communities all hated each other, however, so when it came time to design a new flag, they had to do this delicate compromise to appease everybody's egos. So in the end, they went with the Dutch flag, and inside of the white part, they had the flags of the 2 Dutch communities and the flag of Britain. And the flag in the middle was turned sideways so it wouldn't get too cocky about having the best spot. It's worth noting as well that the flags of the 2 Dutch communities themselves had the flag of Holland inside them, so we basically had flags inside flags inside flags. Nelson Mandela got rid of this. And speaking of just ripping off other people's flags, when Brazil separated from Portugal and later became an independent republic, they took a lot of inspiration from the American Revolution. For a while, the country's official name was even the United States of Brazil. Unfortunately, this America envy resulted in a lot of terrible flags. This was briefly the first flag of the Republic of Brazil, and it remains the flag of one of their states. This is the flag of another Brazilian state. So is this. And this. And this. This one's a bit more original. Basically, living in Brazil is like living in a counterfeit version of the US. Ditto for Malaysia and Liberia. There are so many terrible flags out there, both past and present, it would be easy to make a whole channel doing nothing but flag disses. I want to hear your nomination, though, for the worst flag you've ever seen. Although really, it's going to be tough to beat Libya. Look, I have a Libya flag pillow. And a Libya flag blanket.